was always going to end like this. All your hard work, all your sacrifice, only sped up the process. And now, you find yourself alone.
Hello and welcome to IOI Insider, the September edition of our live stream, direct from IOI Interactive in Copenhagen. My name is Travis, this is Clemens.
Hello everyone, and just to get the cat out of the bag, as you probably can notice our web or camera is a little worse than it used to be, so that's because our good camera broke right before we had to start streaming. So this is...
We're using alternative equipment, but getting the job done. Yeah. We're improvising on the job. We are making sure everything works. But as you just saw, the trailer hopefully was running awesome. Audio should be top notch. We fixed one problem. Another thing catches up on us. So we're persevering with our fisheye webcam. It's all good. No need to blink twice. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
We do have a lot to get through. We've got a lot of exciting things. You're not here to see us. You're here to see the reveal of a new season for Hitman 3. So
we will use a lot of big full screens this stream,
sure.
So you won't see us that much because our camera quality is quite 1998 quality.
But that aside, for the next hour or thereabouts, we're going to be talking about the new season that's coming to Hitman 3. Is going to be starting next week. We're going to show you the announcement trailer for that, talk a little bit about it. It's a really exciting one. Don't put that on yet.
No.
And we are going to look at the patch notes that are coming up also next week. Next Tuesday, we have a new patch coming out for Hitman 3. We're also going to talk a little bit about some new unlocks that are coming your way. Not all of them. There are some surprises we're saving for Tuesday and the reveal of the full roadmap trailer. But there's one or two things we want to give you a heads up on because we like to keep you excited. Then we've got a whole bunch of questions that you've been submitting. You probably can't see it because we're on full screen.
Yeah.
We will be talking about 7 Deadly Sins, of course. We've got questions. And we'll be taking questions from chat as well. We can see you there on Twitch chat down below.
We have one more note.
Yes.
The reason why I'm sitting with the mouse is because I'm also controlling the stream because we are a man down today. So we are usually we have Martin in the van, but he's not here today, unfortunately. So we are doing it old school style.
Old school. Clemens knows the story. I remember the days where we literally would stream with a PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation camera. So I would go to a meeting room carrying the PlayStation 4. Plug it into the monitor that I also carried around. It was like, yeah, let's stream. If any of you have been watching the streams for like 5 years, you remember those days. We've come a long way since then.
But the camera quality was better than this.
It was about the same.
Yeah.
It was about the same.
I can see there's a question where I get this shirt. It's actually not a Hitman shirt. It's a Orlando Magic shirt.
Which is...
Oh, sorry, Miami
related
Heat.
to I was going to say Miami.
Miami Heat, yeah. Because
Miami
Heat. A basketball team.
I missed the chance to make the camera swing to the other side to shoulder swap POV. Yips. Sorry, missed the boat on that. So let's talk 7 Deadly Sins. Let's start with the big news. Let's start with the season announcement. That's what we promised. That's why you're here. So let's not talk about things like shoulder swap, which are not so important, right? Everyone agrees on that. So Hitman 3 next week.
Mm-hmm.
We are releasing another content pack for the 7 Deadly Sins. Our post-launch content that we've been running since March or April. where we have these different escalation contracts that go into the mind of Agent 47 that lean on the 7 deadly sins, that bring you new ways to play, new unlocks, new items, and the whole premise of the 7 deadly sins is that it's sort of the sins themselves that are sort of challenging Agent 47, or an interpretation of the sins that are manifesting in 47's head. That's something we've been talking about a lot. So we've reached, we will have come Tuesday, the penultimate act of the 7 deadly sins, Act 6.
Yes.
So we've already had greed and pride and sloth and lust and gluttony, however you want to be. If you want to be Scandinavian about it, gluttony. Envy is coming up on this stream, and then the final deadly sin that's coming is also wrath. That's sort of the framework for where we are. We do have maybe one, that one there. So,
really?
Let's talk a little bit about the Season of Envy before we run the trailer. So, all of the deadly sins, they are themed, of course, around the sin themselves, but that also incorporates, different colors, different visual styles, and we've put out some teasers for this one so far. And
I see there's a question like, it's the Mendoza suit.
I was going to say that.
But there is an explanation for that.
The sins also sort of travel the world as well, right? So we've taken you to Dartmoor, and we've taken you to Dubai,
Chongqing,
and to China as well. So the Season of Envy, as people might be able to guess if you recognize this suit, will be taking you to Mendoza in Argentina. Funnily enough, I want to say penultimate level of Hitman 3, if memory serves. Feels like so long ago. There is a suit unlock, don't worry. This is not the unlock, the Mendoza suit. There is a sin-themed suit, as there has been for every other season. We just wanted to talk a little bit about it before we run the trailer. So we are looking at Act 6 of the 7 Deadly Sins, and I think this is one of the more unique gameplay-inspired sins in terms of the escalation that you have to play through. We've seen that over the last few sins, there's been new elements added, especially with Sloth, where we had this idea of having a vitality meter, whereas the more you moved, the more damage you took, and ultimately you could die if you didn't sort of if you were not slothy enough, right? And
we also had the 1-stage escalation in Lust, right? And we had on the extra stream last week, we had Toge here talking about gluttony, and lust, and talking about this all these elements that's been into the making and making them correspondent with the sin they were making, right? So this one,
absolutely.
So tackling tackling envy has been a very, I think it's a very nice take on it.
Absolutely. So I think before we run the trailer, I think it's something we should do just before we. Not this one. That's too spoilery. The trailer. Let's get the trailer ready. So the Hitman 3 live team that have been working on the 7 Deadly Sins. We were fortunate enough to have Toke, who is one of the level designers here, who has been working on Hitman for quite a few years now, 7 years I think it is. Talking to you on an extra stream, actually, one of our sort of mid-season streams that we do to give some insight into the development inside of how things come together. So before we run the trailer, just shout out to the entire live team who's putting the content together. Who it's our privilege to present this to you, to show you what they've been working on, and we do our best to get as many people on the team as possible to talk to you about how they put their work into the game. So I'm excited for this one. If you've got anything else to say, then you can run the trailer.
No, I mean, people are getting mad, right? Show us the trailer.
Show us the trailer.
/joke.
Let's do it.
Let's run the upcoming Season of Sin trailer. Enjoy.
Look what we have here. Agent 47. So cool, so calm, so self-assured. Why? You're not a god. You're not the only assassin out there. You're not even the best one, if you ask me. I know a guy who puts your work to shame, and he wasn't even built for it. Don't believe me? Fine. Beat him to the targets if you can. Take them out the way I want you to. Be faster, be sharper, be everything people say you are. I'll show you the power of envy.
There we go. The reveal of the Season of Envy, which starts September 28th. And we kickstart the season on September 28th with the 7 Deadly Sins content pack. And there is also a full season of content that is Envy themed, coming to Hitman 3 owners and free starter pack players throughout the next weeks. So this is just the starting point, where in this very, very unique escalation contract, you will be facing off essentially against a rival. And the rival will also be trying to eliminate the targets, and you have to prove that you're better than they are. You have to prove that you're quicker than they are. You can think on your feet, and you can be the better assassin. That's the main idea behind the Envy content pack this season. So as you can see on the screen here, it includes the Envy Contention. That's the name of the escalation contract, which is a return to 3-stage escalations, which we also saw in Gluttony. Of course, Clemens mentioned Lust, which was a single stage. So it's another 3-stage that ramps up with complications and different targets. The rival is present in the level in each stage of the escalation. And as you probably saw in the trailer, they are wearing the suit, the Odium suit, this rival. And you obviously have the chance to unlock it through completing the content. Along the way, you will have 2 new weapons that you can unlock. The Cat's Claw, which is, as you can tell, it's a, what's it called? Close range lethal melee weapon. And the awesome, the complete opposite, the Jaeger 7 Green Eye, which is maybe a little bit hard to tell. Maybe if you're looking full screen, you can sort of tell that. Maybe if we pull the other picture up, it might be a bit easier to make the comparison about how, the cat, the green cat, is the sort of the animal representation of the Envy Sin. So the cat is the sort of symbol, and
the symbol, right?
The Jaeger 7 Green Eye is actually the rifle is sort of framed to be a cat. It's shaped like a cat. It's a little bit hard to tell from this one. And of course, the rifle has different perks to differentiate it from other weapons as well. And you can find out all what they are when the content launches September 28th.
On Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, yes.
Less than a week. And it's, and we also, on that day, we will also have, the whole 9 yards. We will have patch notes. We will have server maintenance, but we will also have all the new content and also the new roadmap showcasing everything that's coming in the Season of Envy.
Yes.
And this one has, this upcoming roadmap has been really fun to make. Let's just say it like that.
If we look at some of the screens from the Envy content, we can show you a little bit more of it so you get an idea. Maybe we can actually show, this one's cool.
This is really cool.
Some of the shots from the trailer, right? This is sort of the manifestation of the Envy Sin in 47's mind, right? This is obviously not from the level itself. You will be in Mendoza, but this is 47 in the suit. We also have we can show you the weapons up close as well. You can maybe get a better idea of the cat. Obviously, the weapon's called the Cat's Claw and the Green Eye sniper rifle. Pretty cool items that you get with this, as well as the suit, right? So
that's more.
Yeah. the cat is going to be heavily inspiring it, and the weapon that you can see there, sort of in 47's mind, is of course the cat's claw. And this next image is sort of like the main image for the escalation, for the content. Is you as 47 in Mendoza facing off against this rival assassin to prove yourself, to prove that you are better than they are. That's your task. So it's really unique content this time around, with a rival assassin in play in the mission, trying to take down the targets before you do. Yes. Getting distracted by looking at chat, that's never a good idea.
No,
so
I did the same.
A very, very unique twist on what we've done before, challenging players to sort of learn the paths, learn where the rival likes to go, and it might not be the same every time. Some of the stages have different, multiple targets, so it's up to you whether you go for the same target that the rival goes for, or you find your own path. There's a lot of variety that can come from these challenges. One other thing that if you look very closely at the trailer, you might have noticed is that your targets are not necessarily NPCs that you'll recognize from Mendoza. You might recognize them from the World of Assassination, from I know there's at least some Hitman 2 targets, or Hitman 2 characters, I should say, in this manifestation of envy. So the targets are unique, at least in the sense of like they're returning characters. We sort of flirted with this idea with the Dartmoor Garden show. So
we do a lot of callbacks in that as well, right? For all the missions in the World of Assassination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is cool to make it all feel like it's because it's the same universe, right?
Yeah. So, and I see the sarcastic comments about reused characters. Yeah, okay. If you go play the Dartmoor Garden show, you'll see entirely new character models, and then you can come back with a comment about them as well. It, of course, makes sense that some of the characters are not entirely the same, and not entirely brand new either. Bringing back unique characters is something that we like to do. That's probably something that will continue, regardless of sarcastic comments.
Sarcastic comments. Well, okay, but sarcastic comments are also...
Reuse stream hosts. Absolutely. I've been looking for new hosts.
Yeah, I've been looking for new cameras.
But I have not seen a single person say bad mic yet. So
maybe.
I'm sure that will come when
they got used to it.
That's
got used to it.
So we've talked enough about Season of Envy. It's releasing, as Clement said, September 28th.
Yeah.
That is next Tuesday. And also, next Tuesday, we've got a patch. So I want to briefly just talk a little bit about what's coming up in that patch, what you can expect.
I'm just going to do this
on
again.
Patch Day. Of course, you can look at the beautiful content that's coming on December 28th, alongside a patch. So again, if you're completely brand new to Hitman 3 and you've no idea what the 7 deadly sins are, it is premium content, means it has a price tag. Each one costs equivalent of $5. Or you can buy the full collection of 7 for the equivalent of $30. And that's the sort of headline act of the patch, the new content that's coming into Hitman 3 September 28th. Mm-hmm. So alongside that, with the patch, we mentioned it last stream, is that we have the return of shoulder swap. So you will once again be able to choose which shoulder you want the camera behind, Agent 47. Something that we had in the previous games and wasn't in Hitman 3 at launch. So that's being re-enabled. It will be an option in the menu, and it will be toggled off by default. So if you want this on, you have to go in and manually toggle it on. The patch notes will tell you where to find it, but it should be relatively easy to find if you know your way around the menus. And it will work as you expect it would. If you've used it before, then there's nothing new here. Let's say it will work. You press, I think it's V on PC, or you press LS or L3 or whatever controller you've got, the left stick. Toggle that, click that, and the camera will sort of bounce around between the shoulders.
Full on swap.
Yes. So that's coming in. We know that people have been asking for this for a while, and yeah, it's good. It's back.
Yeah, we're very happy about it.
There's also a few other things in the patch notes we want to talk about. One of them is that we've changed the mouse sensitivity on PC. In the past, when you were zoomed in with a sniper rifle and you would move your mouse, it would barely move. And there's been an issue that's been in the game for quite a while. So we've changed that. That should be fixed again. So sniping on PC should be improved. And seeing as we were also talking about the Deadly Sins content, the other thing that I chose to highlight, there are other fixes, there are other improvements, there are different things coming into the game. Small things. Shoulder swap is probably one of the bigger ones. That's top of the list for now. We're also adding new categories to the inventory menu for 2 new categories. One for the deluxe pack suits, so you can easily find them, and one for the 7 Deadly Sins suits as well. Mm-hmm. So to make it a little bit easier to find the specific suit you want. Previously, they were all bundled into the themed category, and it was a little bit tricky. So that's coming in. And I know there was also some discussion about some prompts in Paris. You couldn't open the doors because the prompt was too high. That's getting fixed as well. So there's small things like that have a big impact on gameplay, of course, if you're in Paris. And things like shoulder swap, which are global and affect the entire game. So that's happening. The full patch notes will be out on Tuesday alongside the content, where we'll also have server maintenance for the game to allow us to deploy the patch. And the way that works is that when the servers are down, we download the patches, we check everything, we check that the content works, the new content, we check that all the content that should be in the game is there. If there's content that shouldn't be there, that gets taken out, that all the new challenges are in. We do QA checks, and we have a very, very busy day while server maintenance is down. Everybody on the Hitman 3 live team has a very, very busy day making sure that it all works before we open the gates and let you all back in again. So there isn't a specific end time to the maintenance. I just want to flag this again to minimize the where is my game, why is server maintenance happening tweets that we get. As soon as we are happy with how everything is and want the game back online again, we'll do so, and you'll be able to play again. And it's the usual times that are coming. Where is my game? Yes, exactly. Yes. So we also want to talk about let's just say what's left to come on the stream this week. For this season is we want to talk a little bit about featured contracts and how they are going to be working a little bit for the current season and next, meaning Gluttony and
the last drop of this month of this season.
Envy, mm-hmm. As well as take your questions. We have some already, and we'll ask. We can see your questions. We're sort of clocking them up in our heads. We'll get to them when we get for questions. But Clemens wants to talk about feature contracts.
I want to talk a little about feature contracts. That's my thing. Welcome to the feature contract zone. My name is Clemens. Today I'm going to talk about feature contracts. No. So today we're going to have, right now I should think they are already live in the game. You can play the new 3 feature contracts created by you guys, awesome people out there creating a lot of cool contracts. And as always, I can go in on hitmanforum.com because we cannot feature all of them, unfortunately. We can only feature 3. But there is a very cool list that people made that we can go in and check all the contracts for various platforms. So if you want to play more, you can go in there and just dive deep because there's a lot of good ones. But we got 3 new today that's featured, and I want to highlight them I want to highlight them, and before we go to talk about what's going to happen with feature contracts for Envy. Oh, my bad. So the first one I'm going to highlight is created by Viv, and it's Let Them Eat Cake. This was featured because of one plain thing. It was really fun to play. It had a very good take on the gluttony theme. It had good puzzle elements. It was somewhat lighthearted. So I seem it could be very fun for speedrunners to compete in. It's also just a plain fun contract, really well made. And the first time I think we featured Viv. So congratulations on making a cut. It was really, really cool. And then, I'm sorry, it's a little hard to juggle these. Just a second. So, and this one was a very nice puzzle, finding apples in Dubai. It's made by the chicken, and it's a healthy eating.
Yeah.
Also, plays very hard on the gluttony theme. It's fun to play around with apples, and you have to find various apples. So it's like a small of an egg hunt, if you want to call that, to find the apples, and then you have to go up and take out this chef. It's really, really fun, and it's really also really made. So congratulations to Chicken. It's a great contract. I was gonna say we play a lot, and a lot of them are really good. So it's hard to find only 3. But this one was my favorite because of the first glance. It's by Atomic Garbage. It's I Am Vegan. And the first time I just saw the contract name, I was like, oh no, is this about killing vegan people? What is it about? But this actually plays very, very well about the dialogue in game. And I think that's really, really funny that you can go around and she's very unhappy about the position that she's in, the woman, because she's vegan. And it's really fun, and it plays around with the dialogue in the game. And I think that's very clever use of using to create feature contracts. I think that's very nice to use the in-game dialogues and in-game to make it like more connected with the game somehow. These are the 3. Congratulations for being featured, and thank you so much for everyone who submitted. And I can't wait for playing a lot more for the season of Envy.
Yeah.
But they're in the game now, so you can play them and have fun. We did, so it's really cool to see you guys, and it's nice to see people think out of the box, especially when using in-game dialogue. So for the I Am Vegan, really, all of them had really great briefings, but they all have like their trademarks each, right? There's the puzzle, there's the core fun, and then there is the clever one using the dialogue from in-game. I think that's really nice to do. But just before we go,
there was a question in chat about whether these are free for non-DLC owners, and the answer is yes. If you own Hitman 3,
yeah, you
can play the featured contracts that are in the game. The only if you're not a DLC owner, if you don't own the Deadly Sins content, then you can't play what we just showed you with the trailer, right? That's the paid content for the season, and you know. These are Hitman 3 featured contracts. So if you own Hitman 3, you can play all the Hitman 3 live content that we have.
And also get the cool unlocks that attach to them.
Speaking of which,
I see the question, what about the 60 completed featured contracts? So, in the season of Envy, we are gonna have... sorry, my throat. Are you ready, Travis?
I'm ready.
You remember the duck gun?
Duck gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
People remember the ICA 19 Ducky edition. Now it's coming in a bit bigger version. It's coming as a Haggle sniper rifle. Here you go. This is for completing 60 featured contracts, and it will be available with the first batch of featured contracts, which is it's October 7. So the season of Envy. So there you go. Now it's time to snipe. It's really cool. It's good looking. Yeah, it's just plain awesome.
Yep.
Now you have the full set.
So the Hackle Sniper Rifle Covert Ducky Edition is unlocked in Hitman 3 by completing 60 featured contracts on Hitman 3 locations.
Yes.
We can just mention that we are in the patch that's coming on Tuesday as well. We are also making a change so that
that's correct.
Featured contracts that are made and released, of course, on the Dartmoor Garden show will count towards the milestone challenges for this gun. Yeah. Yes.
So it will be available with the first batch coming in. You don't have to wait that long before you can get your hands on this ducky-looking gun.
Yes.
And then I just want to say something, looking a bit ahead for the featured contracts by you guys, the community, in the season of Envy. I have 3 developers lined up to pick 1 each. So they are going to pick, of all the submissions, they're going to pick the 3 that goes in, and they're going to talk a bit about why they picked that certain featured contracts for Envy. It's a bunch of cool guys that are creating... It's going to help me find the 3 featured for the season of Envy, and so look forward to that.
Awesome. So 3 developers lined up already. So that when we get the submission thread up on hitmanforum.com for the season of Envy featured contracts,
yes,
when the submissions close,
Yeah.
these guys gonna sit down, look through the contracts,
I will sit down
pick out
with
their
them.
favorites,
Yes,
and then actually tell you why.
Yes.
All right.
And that's also a reason why the submission thread, normally they are running quite close to when they go into the game. They will be a week earlier this time. So we will have a bit more time with the 3 developers finding out the 3 feature contracts. So the thread will go up a bit sooner than usual, just FYI. But it will still run for over a week. So you'll still have a lot of time to create your Envy-inspired contract.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming to my feature contract talk. I really encourage you to go in and play it. The 3 features, I think they're really, really cool. I hope you like them too. And as well, there's a lot of cool created contracts on the forum that you can go in and play as well. There are so many good ones. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Shall we do questions?
Wait, I have a question.
I don't have 4 pages, but I have 4 sides. Does that count? Questions in itself is a question. So we set up a questions thread on the Hitman forum. And we picked out some of the favorites and sort of did them in a priority order. So there was a question from William1066 who said, "How was your day?"
Actually, really good, except the camera broke.
Okay, so that was
But
not
up until that part,
right.
really good.
So not the most serious question, but Count Rushmore asked one, which was, "What did you eat for breakfast today?"
I actually didn't have breakfast.
Okay, so nothing. Yeah. So questions are done. So I think, when is the next stream that we're doing?
We're doing the next stream in the IOI extra stream. It's gonna be the next one.
Should we do some actual questions?
Yeah, let's do some actual
Let's do
questions.
that, and everyone can cringe a little bit more. So I actually went through the forum thread, and it was actually quite interesting. I got roughly halfway when someone said, "Haha, that only say how was your day," and I had actually written down almost every single question, and then thought, but now they want me to spend time talking about how was my day, so we can't do one of the questions now, which is a shame. The first question was about Romania, the Carpathian Mountains. About someone did a nice little graph. It might have even been Hitchkas who asked the question about, is there plans to use it more? I think it's a really good question, but by its nature, that level is very restrictive. Like it is set in stone. It's not a sandbox location. It is, the more linear by its nature.
Yeah.
But there is still content to come. There is still more that we are working on. I'm not definitely confirming there's going to be content on that map. But as always, it's being discussed. Then there was 2 questions from Urban about contracts modes updates. And he also asked about modding policy as well. And they are both the same answer as we've given before. Contracts modes updates are on the table. We'd love to do them. There's nothing on the immediate horizon for that. The modding policy is something that, again, core players will be familiar with. And it's the same thing. There's many considerations. We're talking about it with the different departments that need to be involved in that. So there's nothing new to add to that, other than, we see people doing it. We see the ways that people are playing. We're not inherently against modding. I saw some people discussing that based on what I said last time. What I wanted to do was be very clear about pointing out that the current policy, you can read it, terms of use, you agree to it when you play the game, says you agree not to modify the game. And based on what players are doing, we're looking at whether we should review that or not. So it's the same answer as before. There was also a question from Kevin Rudd on forum about how many people are working on Hitman 3 Live. Hitman 3 Live being sort of the post-launch content. We call it live content sometimes. And the team, we don't have a team working on Hitman 3 now because Hitman 3 released. We have Hitman 3 Live. They are treated as different projects, you could say. So we talk about Hitman 3 Live. And we don't actually, we very rarely share exact numbers of how many people are working on each project. So I don't have an exact number. I know before when we got asked this, we talked about the fact that we have different disciplines like lighting artists, environment artists, level artists, writers, QA, producers. Of course, we have people creating trailers as well. We have you and I, the marketing team, the communications team, a lot of different people. But there's more people working on Hitman now than there was a few months ago. I can say that at least. We have exciting plans, and you've probably seen it. We put it on social media every so often. We have new hires, people coming in to work on Hitman. So that's exciting. Kevin also asked lots of questions. Two more from him about. And this is one that I see lots of people asking about. What happens after 7 Deadly Sins? And the annoying answer for all of you is that that time hasn't come yet, because we're still doing the 7 Deadly Sins, and that's what we want to focus on. But once we've concluded the campaign, once we've released all the 7 Deadly Sins content, then we'll start talking about what's coming next. There are plans. We just need to be ready to talk about them. He also asked about new content for maps from previous games. And I think he pointed out that we mentioned in some interviews pre-launch that was part of the plan. That was part of the plan. Those plans changed a little bit. Part of building the game in the way we did Hitman 3 was to put it all in one, in terms of making the file size smaller, making it easier to purchase content, and then this potential that people that had access to all of the content could access new content if we made it for all the maps.
Yeah.
But those ideas haven't really turned into anything yet. And that's not to say that they won't or that they will. It's more just that's where we are right now with that. Then Count Rushmore had an actual question about the elusive target formula, about any changes, what's going on with it. Is there going to be something? It's still an ongoing discussion. It's something that we, as I said before, we looked at changing it. We looked at making things different with it. And ended up not making those changes for launch. Nothing is locked in place or confirmed either way. But there are ideas being shared. There's discussions happening, what we can do with it. It's a stay tuned. We'll announce something when there is something. We know that people want to hear something about it. Another question was from Schartenjaer. I'm trying to say it in a European accent, about what happens when the exclusivity period with Epic is over. Lots of questions about what happens when this, what happens when that. I think we said pre-launch that the Hitman 3 is exclusive to Epic for 12 months since launch. So, obviously, come 1 year from the release, that's no longer the case. And I think it's fairly obvious to say we'll obviously have some announcements to make about what we do at that point. But not yet. Again, it's the same as what happens once Deadly Sins is done. We're always working on things. Clemens is mentioned saying Season of Wrath instead of Envy, because our heads are looking ahead as much as we can, right? So we are there, and we'll have more to talk about the future when we get to the future. I see questions about full roadmap as well. Full roadmap on Tuesday.
Look forward to it.
Full roadmap on Tuesday 28th. So many questions, trying to find ones that are actually going to be worthwhile answers. Maybe we take some from chat and then jump back here, just to make sure that we get the you can see it from here, just to make sure that we get the questions that are being asked right now. I can see a suggestion for elusive targets. It's just scrolled away, but yes, there's lots of ideas on the table. We had lots of ideas on the table before as well. So yes, do you two work on the content as well? No, we're not, strictly speaking. We are primarily working in what's called the marketing department, but I don't think we really do marketing.
No.
We are more communications. Clemens is community manager. I'm communications manager. So we're very much looking at how do we talk about what the team is doing? How do we talk about what are players asking for? What do players want? I know it might not always be immediate and might not be everything, but I can promise you that on top of the team being very attentive to the forum and Reddit and what is going on in the community, what discussions are being had, we are also forwarding that information. And, we're also in many ways championing the requests from community as well, right?
Yeah.
We try to help the team prioritize and understand the sort of wishes. I mean, shoulder swap is a good example, right? That we are more exposed, let's say Clemens and I, to what players are talking about. So we would then put that in front of the team and say, a lot of people are talking about this, or a lot of people would like to see this, or a lot of people are having this issue, or hey, this was reported over here. But I cannot overstate enough how much the team are on top of that themselves, and often come to us and say, hey, I saw people talk about this, what do you think we could do, sort of thing. We have a great team here, and they can't be praised enough.
No, and they're also very curious. They're looking at all the forums and Reddits and everything themselves, because they're also curious what people are saying about what they're making, right? So it makes total sense. I mean,
we also on the live team ourselves, as I mentioned. So we actually should have been at a live team meeting today. Yes. So we have to catch up on that. Every Thursday we talk about the state of the game, so to speak. What's coming up, what's coming in, what's not, what's changed, what awesome unlocks you're going to get next month, what awesome unlocks you're going to get on Tuesday, what surprises we have. Because there are surprises, hopefully also things like the Golden Baller, that was also something that, hey, a lot of people want this. Can we make it an unlock? And then it goes onto a list, and the team try and makes it happen alongside all the other priorities. And we go around in a big circle of what can we make happen in the time that we have? What do the players most want? And try to find some sort of balance. Because I know there's a million examples of, oh, hey, we all want this, and we asked for this, and why did this take 7 months, and blah, blah, blah. Yes, so I'm not here saying that we listen and make everything happen straight away, but we have a huge amount of forward planning that we are doing, looking ahead to everything, and we have to weigh up the effect and impact and balance and use of time, and a ridiculous number of things go into making and developing and releasing the content as frequently as we do. Yes. I just bought Hitman. Will I get access to elusive targets? If you bought Hitman 3, you'll get access to Hitman 3 elusive targets.
Yeah.
Yes. Simple question. Why? This is an interesting one. So why is 47's envy rival camouflaging in the green chair? Does he like the texture that much? So the trailer is wrong.
Yeah, actually, that's true. We learned that.
We made the trailer. This is game dev for you. We made the trailer before that was changed, and we didn't have time to recapture it. So the chair is not actually green when you play the level.
No.
The chair is going to be a different color. I'm not going to spoil what it is, because I know that will be a massive spoiler. But we felt that the green chair and the green suit was too much, and so the chair changed.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna. It's a trailer exclusive. You're not gonna see the green.
That's true.
You're not gonna see the green, and that's sometimes how things work. That we have a trailer and we have deadlines for making sure that it gets released and produced, and that also includes audio and the thumbnails and all the description you see on YouTube, and maybe you also see it on the PlayStation YouTube channel, which we have to make sure they get it enough days in advance. There's a lot that goes into
bring back
that.
Bring back green chair. It's gonna start on Tuesday.
Bring back the green chair. If our live director is listening, then he can start championing that he gets patched back in. I see a question about CR7 being back and how does that affect the mighty Aston Villa. I'm looking forward to being disappointed that they get given a penalty that was never a penalty, and he puts it away to beat us by a single goal. There's my prediction. Green chair, or we return Hitman 3. Please don't do that.
No, please don't.
I am sure that there is a green chair somewhere in the game to fulfill your green chair needs. Yes. Okay. King Marcel, is there going to be any new sniper missions? No. I don't think so. If you mean sniper assassin, no, not that I know of. That's not in the plans. No. Hitman.com/green chair. Oh, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Mullet. Nevertheless, there's questions about food and stuff, but we're not going to talk about that. Oh, Clemens is giving codes for blinking. We're not going to be
I'm trying not to blink.
Not going to do any blinking. Stadia sales soon. Sales are really interesting. I saw a question about this as well, about the deluxe pack. And there is a lot that goes into organizing the sales when we put the game on sale. There are rules and there are sort of restrictions that we have. Like, the game can't be on sale all the time, for example. And a lot of the places the game is put on sale, we can either be invited or request to be on sale, and choosing the discounts and things like that. It's not a matter of us sitting here going, haha, no Stadia sale. There's different sales on different platforms according to which content the platform holders want to put on sale and which type of content. For example, you might see it on X platform and they have expansion pass sales. And if you don't have an expansion pass, you're not in that sale. Yeah. Another another thing. It's planned. It's a big multidiscipline operation. Let's say.
That's a good, nice word
of how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And comments about GOG. Yeah, we're obviously following it. It's very fresh. It's very new. And that's a conversation that we're having both internally and with our partners and our friends over at GOG as well. I'm sure there will be updates and more comments to come on that, but not right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes there are questions that we don't have perfect answers to. That's one of them right now. But there will obviously be more said about it. We'll get that to you as and when. Will you promote fan-made websites? Absolutely. We are really proud to have a community that is active. There are many I can think of off the top of my head that are really can enhance the way you play the game. I know that we have hitmaps.com, which shows you where to find all of the items, which is maintained and community sort of built, but also what's the word, like curated, right? People find new stuff, and this is on the second floor. Oh, there's a hammer here or whatever. We have Hitman status, Scandinavians infecting me as well. There's also several communities we know of. There are obviously individuals that do live streams as well and play the games. There's the speedrunning community that Frode is on top of. I'm sure there's others that I'm not getting, but there's many. And yeah, amazing. Fusk, yeah, there you go. Green chair. Lawyer's chair in Dartmoor is green. Saved. # green chair. Yes.
Good.
Can we say hi to Morten Elgaard? Yes. Hi, Morten.
Hi, Morten.
Morten might not be listening, but Morten is one of our UI, UX designers. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the images you see for challenges and like the main content pictures that you see, like the main picture when you load up the new Envy escalation will have been created by Morten. The elusive target images as well. A lot of the in-game... Yeah, this one. Pop that back up. This one was most likely, I think, I would be very confident saying that this was created by Morten. Yeah. All good stuff. Fantastic.
All good stuff. Looks great.
I see another question about contracts mode. We touched on that. Getting new stuff into that. Beefing that mode up has long been requested and talked about. Yeah. Morten made the timer. What timer are you talking about? If it's the timer that starts the live stream, then that wasn't Morten. That was our junior intern UI designer. This guy that always wears hats. Forgot his name. Oh yeah, Clemens. Okay, so I'm looking at the clock. It says 4, but we started later. If people want to run a few more minutes, we can do a few more questions.
Shoulder swap would be nice. Yeah.
Shoulder swap is happening.
On Tuesday.
Sniper is clipping through the sofa, by the way. Uh-oh.
No, not here.
Which sofa? Nah. When we will get a Clemens Funko Pop. Maybe there already is one.
That could be so cool.
Maybe you already got to look at it.
I have a Morty on my desk. Ooh.
Is Wrath's content already made? So the season of Wrath is the season that comes after the season of Envy. It's very nearly completely done. Content production takes a long time, and there needs to be enough time for QA, quality assurance, and there also needs to be enough time to react to stuff that's found by QA. So content tends to be done a good period of time before it's released. It would be impossible to release something too soon. That's often the reason why you see that something is released in a piece of content and the fix for it might not come immediately, is because we need to first reproduce it ourselves so we can see the issue and see the error, get a full reproducible steps. Maybe that means getting like logs of what happened, what causes the issue, the crash. Does it happen everywhere? Is it on every platform? and then go in and fix it, and then that takes time for the people to fix it, and then it gets put into a version of the game that we might be ready to release. Then it gets tested to make sure that it doesn't break anything else, and then it gets approved. That's a very basic version of it. I'm sure our QA and release team would have much more details and have much more technical terms to describe how stuff might work. But that's why stuff doesn't happen straight away. It just can't. So yes, long story short, Wrath is in the, if it's not already done, it's in the very final stages. Do you hire game testers? I would say game testers is a strange phrase. Game testing is many different things. We have a QA department. You could say that they test the game. Yeah, of course they do. We do tests, of course. And I would also say that our QA are awesome and very much appreciated by everybody on the team. It doesn't maybe sometimes get said as much as it should in the industry, but QA are massive heroes. Also part of the live team, fully included in the team for what it's worth. Definitely not a side project or a side department which you often hear about. So yes, we do hire when we're looking for new QA teams.
Always, if you're
thinking about, if you have experience or think about it, keep your eye on the careers page. Yeah, and if QA opportunities come up, by all means. We have studios in Barcelona and Malmö and Copenhagen. So if you're in and around those places, then get there. How is it in Barcelona? I've not been yet, not to the studio at least. I actually went on a school trip to Nou Camp, or Camp Nou, the football stadium there.
I think we should do a community petition that we do a meet the team in Barcelona.
We can do it remotely, Clemens.
So I have to go to Barcelona and we'll, of course, do it for the sake of you people.
But we have a studio in Barcelona. It's very new.
Yeah, it's very new.
And the team are growing. The team are getting started, working on all of our projects. Hitman, Project 007, and a as of yet unannounced title. Yes. Where is Hakan? He's about 100 meters away. His desk is over the road. Yeah. Not over the road, over the corridor. We are sort of... it's complicated to explain. Yeah. We're in a sort of closed off room, and then just through here there's a door. Hitman 2 door is just here. But if you go through the door that's over there, Hakan is out there somewhere. Hakan, of course, if you don't know, is the CEO of IOI. Yeah.
And there was also a question if he's in the building. He's very much in the building.
Yeah. Someone also said there is QA for Hitman in QLock in Poland. Yes, we also have external QA, and QLock are one of the awesome teams that we work with, that work on Hitman. Yes, internal and external QA, which is great. Are you aware of all projects I are working on other than Hitman? Yes.
Absolutely.
It would be strange if we were not. Yeah. Are you hiring janitors? I'm very available. We actually have, we have a team of janitors. We have our office manager has a team that keep the office maintained with all that it needs. I think janitors is a very general term, but we have lots of people that do a lot of things in the office to keep everything running. Yeah. That you would maybe class outside of the dev team. Obviously, the office manager is a game developer. She keeps us going. In many ways. And
they know us quite well because we have videos running around out here with me and you.
Well, that's also true. So when they bump into you,
it's quite nice.
People asking if they can join our team as a community spy. If we're hiring for community managers, like we were when we hired you, Clemens, then yes, by all means, keep your eye on the job position. If we're hiring, then there's positions. Please apply. Send in your resume. Send in everything you've got.
Show me what you got.
People asking about, is this position available? Is this position available? It changes all the time. You've got to check the job site.
IOI.dk/jobs. All careers.
Yes.
You can go both.
Either way. You can just Google it. Community UX. That position doesn't exist.
That could be cool though.
I'm not entirely sure what it would entail, but if you've got an idea for a new position, you can send that to Clemens' private email. Try and guess what it is. Do you know who Hitchcast is? No, sorry. You say the real guy. I guess that means you're not the real one. If there's another one, sorry. And if it's something offensive, then go away and don't stop making me saying your name. I guess a couple more questions. Now we're just freestyling.
I'm a head manager as well. That's my...
Do you hire data analysts or scientists? I think we have business analysts or something along those lines. Yes. Yes, we do.
All right.
Do you hire Twitch mods? Never mind. No. We don't need any Twitch mods. If any Twitch mods that don't have IOI in their name, not really sure how they got to be a Twitch mod, to be honest. I jest.
The power.
Okay, so we're having a very relaxed live stream now.
Yeah, it went from being...
Any jobs in these things? Yes, okay. So I think that we should end.
Yes, I think
by saying thank you to our Twitch mods, to our Reddit mods, to our Discord mods, to the team on Hitman Forum that are mods, or the Discord enforcers, I think they're called. Yeah. Also to our player support team, to the Hitman 3 live team, and to you, Clemens. As always, if there are questions that we didn't answer, then we will get to them at some point. I think we talked to most of the big questions, let's say. There are lots of news to come, but the main event is Tuesday.
Yeah,
where
it's a big day. The big
we have a
showdown.
lot. So we have a game patch where the game gets updated with shoulder swap and the new content, meaning the 7 Deadly Sins content and other fixes and tweaks and improvements. And we will also reveal all content from 7 Deadly Sins on that day.
Yes,
as well. For the
roadmap is coming out. Yeah,
the roadmap, as we call it. Clemens is back in front of the camera, showing you all of the content, and there are surprises in that roadmap. There's stuff that we haven't talked about yet.
A lot. Yeah.
A couple of unlocks that we haven't shown you. An elusive target on a Hitman 3 location, and other stuff.
Yeah.
It's an unlock packed roadmap with some cool stuff, and we'll let it speak for itself. And we will also have another extra stream.
Yes.
Mid-season. So we'll announce that when it gets time to talk about when that's going to come, the next season.
Yeah.
So,
and we will have feature content as well created by you, and we will have that thread up and running very soon too. So we got some time to create some envy-inspired contracts.
yes.
Oh, I was about to say wrath again.
Wrath.
All right, I think I don't think we have any more stuff to say, Travis, do we?
No, we don't. There was one question from Danger Dog Guy on Hitman Forum who said, "What does the future of Hitman 3 look like?" And the answer I wrote down was, "The future looks very good." So,
and that's the mic drop right there. Everyone, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next IOI Insider. And look forward to Tuesday. It's going to be fun.
cool. Bye for now.
Bye.
Look what we have here. Agent 47. So cool, so calm, so self-assured. Why? You're not a god. You're not the only assassin out there. You're not even the best one, if you ask me. I know a guy who puts your work to shame, and he wasn't even built for it. Don't believe me? Fine. Beat him to the targets if you can. Take them out the way I want you to. Be faster, be sharper, be everything people say you are. I'll show you.